Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back to live stream session with Team Axiom. Today's agenda is to have a detailed discussion on CI/CD pipeline. First of all, CI/CD is abbreviated for continuous integration and continuous deployment. Through this session with Team Axiom, what is the importance of CI/CD pipeline? Why it is important to manage it or follow that procedure of CI/CD pipeline for the integration and the deployment. And finally, Team Axiom is going to demonstrate how practically it can be established, as well as how to overcome the real-time challenges we'll be getting during integrations and the deployment. Let us open this forum. Let us start discussion on this entire process, so that right from the conceptualizations to practically implementation of CI/CD pipeline will be clearly understood, and we need to adopt this, follow this standard prototypes during the development. And without CI/CD, prior, I'm just recollecting that those days, earlier up to 2005, before following this GitHub and CI/CD pipelines, the whole team aware, because obviously team means the task and the code is divided. Some few developers are working on the front end, somebody is managing the backend logic, somebody working on the database, somebody is performing the quality analysis on this. So everyone requires a code. One thing, they'll be updating the code continuously. The challenge is to test the final outcome. We all need to manually merge it, right? So someone manually copied files to the server, someone ran SQL script, but inevitably, if one step is missed, then we have to roll back the entire code, right? So this was manual deployment. Manually, we will be collecting, merging, resolving the conflicts, right? Some steps missed, everything again you have to revert back, roll back. So the manual deployment was slow, error prone, stressful, and infrequent. And to overcome these all the issues, problems, what we are getting in the integration and the deployment, CI/CD pipeline is strongly recommended. Now, while establishing CI/CD pipelines, I'm just like I'll be I'll be giving you the details of the scenario. Let us understand the entire team is distributed among the world. Few developers might be working on the front end. Few developers are working on the back end, but not on a single. They are not available on single locations. And nowadays, it is not required because of the remotely preferred entire tech talent may be distributed among the world, and they are justifying the projects. So let us understand this scenario that the entire tech team is divided, distributed in the entire world, wherever it is, globally distributed. Now, with the proper documentations of the project, we have to develop a repository or the GitHub server. Everyone have to clone that repository. If you are a modern developer, you must first learn the GitHub operations. You should used to with the GitHub commands. So you need to clone the repository to the local drives. You have to by referring to the documentations, you have to manage that all the dependencies to run that code. And the task assigned to you, you need to update the code accordingly, and then you need to create your own local branch to push that updated code. And provide a pull request to the tech lead. In this manner, everyone who is working on the project distributedly, remotely, they have to clone the project, clone the repository, update the code, and push the code to their local branches, because they cannot merge or push the code directly to the main branch, because main branch means where cumulative integrated main code will be available. So everyone have to clone the repository, do the updates, right, and then push the code to the local branch by providing a pull request to the lead. Lead have to pull that all the codes from the local branches, right? After pulling, you have to resolve all the conflicts occur during the code merging process. And post resolving that all the conflicts, it will be redirected to the main branch. Now, all the developers who are working remotely, distributedly, the code is merged and the conflicts are resolved now. That enhanced version is now available in the main branch, and it is ready for deployment. Now this is the continuous process. Maybe one developer is going to do the updates and push the code maybe for 5 times or frequently. by doing some updates. And that is why we are saying continuous integrations. So he will do some updates, perform some task, push the code, send the pull request. Tech lead has to have to review that code and merge it. So there may be the many versions, updated versions of main branch updates will be there. This code pushing is called a commit, right? And now the next stage starts. Once we got a enhanced version on the main branch, we need to test it onto the server. So on the server side also, we need to define three main types of servers. Mostly dev server. Now dev server is actually responsible for testing the integrated codes, merged code during the developmental stage only. Right? So that dev server will be pushing that updated, enhanced, merged, branched code to the dev server, and after successfully merging it at the developmental phase, we'll be pushing it to the staging server. Now in the staging server, it's a pre-production environment. So in the staging server, that all the QA operations, testing for all the acceptance criteria, right? Testing with all the sprint objectives, reviewing everything before it goes to the production server. The production server means a live server where all the users and the stakeholders, or the end users rather, are connected. So the code is in this way, the code is well integrated, merged, tested, and then finally get deployed onto the production server. So hope you understand the pipeline. This is called as pipeline. Every developer, and it has to be the continuous process, right? One has to clone the repository, do the updates locally, push the updated code to the local branch with a pull request. Then all the code has to be pulled, resolve the conflicts, merge it to the main branch, and then it has to be pushed to the dev server, staging server, and the production server. And this is exactly the cycle of code management, right? Versioning, code versioning, and code management is called as the CI/CD pipeline. Now, before going for this, I know that you are eager to know about how it is practically done. But let us understand these all the terminologies well before going for it. So CI, I just referred, is a continuous integration. Developers merge code into a shared repository frequently multiple times a day. Each merge triggers automatic builds and tests. And this process is called a continuous integration. The second is continuous delivery. After a continuous integration process, the code is automatically prepared for release. Deployment to production is manual, but one click away. Then, now this CD is actually abbreviated for two things: continuous delivery, and second is continuously deployment, continuous deployment. After CI, that is continuous integration, passes, the code is automatically deployed to the production without manual intervention. Now, if we want to remove this manual intervention, otherwise, again, the process becomes slow, right? And we may miss certain steps if something manually done. So just understand that if the code is vast, right, and if the number of developers are many, so how complexible, how tedious task will be to take the code, merge it, and form the unit, form the testable code. And here, everything need to be tested on the server. That is why earlier sessions we discussed about the Docker requirement of a Docker, requirement of a Kubernetes. Anyway, but today's task, today's focus will be on the CI and CD, continuous integration and continuous delivery and deployment. Now, whenever we are saying pipeline for this, so it means, first of all, in case of code integrations, that is called as code commit, then we build it, build the version for it, merge it, entire thing, test it, stage it, and deploy it. That is called a code commit, means to form the new version by accepting the various updates from various team. Commit, build, test, stage, and deploy. Test, stage, and now test server means your dev server. Then before deployment to the live server, staging stage will be there, and deployment. So as a developer, whether you are a part of a front-end development, back-end development, API development, database development, or you are a quality analyst, or whichever the role you are performing, or you are a DevOps engineer, these code management techniques, right? The new versioning development technique and the deployment technique, everyone has to be used to. The modern development is going to happen by this way only. And if you are not having your GitHub profile, or you are not managing the GitHub operations, you will not be part of the modern development process, because everyone have to go through this CI/CD stages for the final deployment of the code. So what exactly is the pipeline build means? Build means compile code, install dependencies, create artifacts, that is Docker image or the jar file or the bundle of the code. That is called the building process. So one has to used to be all this process, because whatever the updates one developer will do, he have to test locally also. So to compile the code, install the dependencies, and create the artifacts you will. In case of test, unit test, integration test, security scans, linting. These all the tests need to be performed in the staging environment that I call as a dev environment, dev server, developmental server, and the staging with deployment to a staging environment for final checks. As I just discussed, the quality analyst will be as per the test cases defined. They'll be performing their test on the integrated merged code deployed onto the staging server for all the acceptance criteria of the task given. And once it is approved for the business acceptance, then it will be deployed to the pushed to the production server, which will be sometimes manual or it will be automatic. So these entire stages continuously need to be performed to push the code to the live server with all the updates day-to-day basis, weekly basis, going to perform by the every developer being a part of the production team. So we understand the importance of what is CI/CD and why CI/CD is important. Let us recollect again. If you are not following the CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment phases, what will happen? Referring to the release frequency, right? Release frequency. If you are not following CI/CD, you can able to release the updated enhanced code in once in a month or a quarter. But if you are following a CI/CD, you can able to release multiple times a day, right? Because that stakeholders or the clients might be interested whatever the sprint plan and the deliverables you are like the timeline is very important. So they cannot wait for a month or a quarter to see the end results. So release frequency will be higher, more multiple times a day by using CI/CD. Next, bigger advantage with the CI/CD is the bug detection. Without CI/CD, the bug detections can be found in productions by users while testing. When the end users will test that applications for getting the benefits of the system, then they will find the bugs. But in case of CI/CD, the bugs will be found in pipeline within minutes because it has to go through the test to staging to production. The deployment time. Without CI/CD, the deployment time will be hours or days. But with CI/CD, it can be done in a minute. Rollback capability. Without CI/CD, it's a manual, risky and slow. With CI/CD, it's a one-click, automated or instant. Regarding the team confidence, without CI/CD, it will say, hope this works. Depends on the hopes only. Because you never know. You're following all the steps, but the code is merged. Nobody can confidently say that the merged code is able to deliver the expected output. Right? So again, they have to roll back. Again, they have to hit and try many things. So most of the time, team confidence will be like, hope this works. But with CI/CD, the pipeline passed, and we are good. That is the code confidence because there are very less chances of getting errors over there. Onboarding. New developers breaks things accidentally. If you get used to with the system, that is different thing. It's a normal everyday practice, right? You'll be already have an experience of hours or the years. Then probably you may not get some difficulties or you can overcome the difficulties if any. But if someone is new, it is bound to break the things accidentally. And with CI/CD, that pipeline catches issues before merge. Just try and understand if the wrong code get merged, what will happen? The earlier running version also get damaged, right? And if you are not having a CI/CD, that entire maybe the month's exercise to produce that code will will be you'll be suffer by that. You have to rebuild the code again. You develop the code again because the wrong code get merged. So to have these all the advantages about the release frequency, bug detection, deployment time, rollback capability, team's confidence, and onboarding, CI/CD plays a very vital role. And through this CI/CD, we can achieve the speed to market because the features reaches user faster. We can assure the quality assurance because every change is tested automatically. We can reduce the risk. Small, frequent deployments are safer than big and infrequent ones. Because if you are going to merge the code in a month or a like quarter, it is like it is infrequent and you may find it's a risky. So that risk can be reduced because of the small frequent deployments that are more safer. Developers productivity. Developers focus on code, not deployment scripts. Whatever the task assigned to them, they perform that task, update the code, and push the code so that their productivity will increase. They are not worrying about the whether they have to perform the deployment scripts as well. The next benefit will be the audit trial because everything has to be audited. You're joining a team with the responsibilities. There has to be the accountability also about the efforts what you have taken. So every deployment log, traceable and reversible. So these all key benefits we will be getting using CI/CD pipelines. To understand this all the concepts, like whatever the stuff I discussed conceptually, to understand this well with the Team Axiom, how they can manage, commit the code practically. My role was just to explain you what is CI/CD, why CI/CD is important. Over to Team Axiom so that they can elaborate as well, right from the conceptualization to the practically how it can be achieved. Thank you, and over to Team Axiom.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, sir, for your brief introduction. Now, today I will taking you through one of the most important concept in the modern software development, CI/CD, which stands for continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment. Whether you are building a small web application or working on the enterprise software, CI/CD has become the industrial standard for delivering software quickly, reliably, and with minimal manual efforts. Today's session is designed to help you understand not only what CI/CD is, but also why companies use it and how GitHub Actions automates the entire development process. Towards the end of this presentation, my teammate will be demonstrate complete live CI/CD pipeline in action. Before we dive into the technical concept, let's quickly look at the today's agenda. We will begin by understanding the problem that developers face during manual deployments. Then we will discuss Git and GitHub, which forms the foundation of modern deployment workflow. After that, we will understand continuous integration, continuous delivery, GitHub actions, and finally look at the CI/CD best practices. Once the concepts are clear, we will move to the live demonstration where you will see everything works together. Let us start with the simple question. Why do we need CI/CD? Imagine you are a developer, you are developed a web application, and your manager asks you to deploy it. Traditionally, a developer would connect to the server using SSH, upload files manually, restart the application, and hope everything works correctly. Now imagine doing this same thing 10 or 20 times in a day. This process is slow, repetitive and high prone to the human errors. A single misfile or incorrect command can be break the production environment. As the project grow and the team become large, the manual approach become difficult to manage. This is the exact why CI/CD was introduced to automate software delivery, improve consistency, and reduce deployment risk. Before we understand the CI/CD, we first need to understand Git. Git is the distributed version control system that helps developers track changes and made their codes. Every project is stored inside a repository. Wherever we complete a logical change, we create commit which act like a snapshot of a project. Developer use branches to work independently or a new features without affecting the main application. Once the feature is completed, those changes are merged back to the main branch. It also maintains the complete history of your project, allowing us to revert changes whenever necessary. In the simple words, it helps developers to collaborate efficiently and maintain the complete history of their application. Once our code is merged, looking using Git, locally using Git, we usually want to share it to our team. What's where GitHub comes in action. GitHub is a cloud platform that hosts the GitHub repository. It allows developers to collaborate from anywhere in the world. Team members can review code using pull requests, suggested improvements, and merge changes safely. GitHub also provides GitHub Actions, the, which is the automated process we will use later to build the CI/CD pipeline. Now let understand the two main part of CI/CD. First, a continuous integration or CI, where a developer push code, the application is automatically built and tested. If there are any issues, uh, they detect immediately, allowing the developer to fix them earlier. Then second part is continuous delivery or continuous deployment. Once the application process all validations, it it is automatically package and developed to the targeted environment. So CI focus on verifying code quality, while CD focused on delivering that verified code to the users quickly and safely. This diagram shows the complete CI/CD pipeline. A developer write the code and push it to GitHub. That push triggers GitHub Actions. GitHub Actions automatically uh, builds the application, execute test, then create a deployment artifact, and finally deploy the application to production. The best part is that the developer doesn't have to perform their separate this separate manually. This step manually. The entire process happen automatically whenever code is pushed. So why do almost all the modern software companies use CI/CD? The answer is simple. Automation improves speed, quality, and reliability. Instead of spending times on repetitive development tasks, developers can focus on building new features. Automated pipelines reduce human errors, ensure consistent deployment, improve software quality, and make release update much faster. This is why organizations like Google, Amazon, Microsoft rely heavily on CI/CD pipeline. Now let look at the automation engine behind the pipeline, which is GitHub Actions. GitHub Actions is the GitHub's built-in CI/CD services. It executes workflow whenever a specific event occurs, such as pull or push request. A workflow is defined inside a YAML file. Each workflow contains one or more jobs, and even jobs consist of multiple steps that are executed on a runner, which is simply a virtual machine. Together, these components automate everything from building and testing to deployment. Before implementation CI/CD, it is important to follow some best practices. Make frequent commit instead of large one. Then keep your workflow simple and maintainable. Automate testing so the bugs are detected before deployment. Never store password or APIs keys directly in your code. Use GitHub security instead. Monitor deployment to quick identify any issues. Finally, finally, always have a rollback strategy so you can recover quickly if something goes wrong. Follow these practices helps create a reliable and production ready CI/CD pipeline. So far, we have discussed the concept behind CI/CD, why we need and how Git and GitHub fits into the workflow, and how GitHub Actions automate entire software delivery process. Now it's time to see this concept in action. My teammate will be demonstrate the simple Git push and automate trigger a complete CI/CD pipeline from building application to deploying it in production. Over to my teammate.
Thank you. So let's start with the deployment. So hello everyone. Welcome back to another live session by Team Axiom, where we are demonstrating a software as a software developer. So today, all of you are joining us for as a software developer. So you are not just watching the presentation right now. These are the presentation already done by my teammate. So now we will becoming a part of real development team. So I'll just share my screen. And here you have a slide on your screen like the complete CI/CD workflow, which we are going to demonstrate with the real-time demo today. So we'll create have the client requirement based CI/CD workflow. So we'll develop a feature. We'll track versions using Git. We'll collaborate through GitHub. will automate deployment using GitHub Actions, and then we'll use a Linux server for the deploy of a platform on the server. Then finally, we'll verify those changes on the live production websites. This is exactly how software companies work. So, as we'll give a small brief of the sprint of this development, like we have the client requirement, then we'll start the deployment. We have the github for the managing the CI/CD pipeline. Then we have the GitHub Actions for managing the servers and productions at the end, and it will give a URL to the users for the client verification and users view. So let's uh, take thought on your mind. We have a client as the Axiom Learning Academy. They don't want to complete application today, but likely every real software project starts, they will build feature by feature. So every feature becomes a new version, every version becomes one git commit, and every commit starts a CI/CD pipeline, as discussed. Now we'll have requirement from the client, which is the learning platform website. So the message like from the client is like, hi team, we need a simple landing page for a learning platform. Students should be able to view courses and information. No login is required right now, but this was the first landing page they need from the client. So for that, we'll just switch to our VS Code, where we have the project of CI/CD dashboard landing page. And for the client requirement, we'll start the development. We have the code already available, but we'll going through the demo purpose, so we'll use this one by one. So this is our first version. Let's understand our project. We have the index.html file. So we'll create two, three files for the landing page: index.html, the style.css, and the script.js. Each file have the uh, perspective of each file. Like index.html is contains the structure here, and we'll just add some code there. Which is the structure of our landing page. Then we'll create a style.css for the designing structure. That is, and then we have the script.js as well. So these three files we have initially, and which is for the landing page as per the client requirement. So as discussed, these are the control designing structures files and the control the interactions of landing page. Now, how the CI/CD works here, and especially the Git and GitHub. So for that, we have to create a repository, as we'll use the CI/CD dashboard repository over here, which is stores our data, a testing server. As a testing server, it helps us to manage the development in the GitHub. By using GitHub, we'll manage all the versions of client requirement, and one by one will go as a CI/CD pipeline. So this was the command which we got from the GitHub dashboard. We have created the repository as a CI/CD dashboard. Initially, we have added the repository name here, and as you can see, we have created the files for the first landing page also: index.html, the style.css, and the script.js. Now we'll have to open a terminal, which we use the Git, as my teammate already explained about the Git and GitHub. So So we'll just move and we'll create a git init file, which is showing the initialized empty git repository. It's a hidden file which is created for the folder structure, and it initialize a folder on the GitHub platform. And git is the commands which helps to manage all the commands and all the data to the GitHub platform. And it checks also what is changed, what files are modified, which file is ready to add there. So after that we'll just add the another command, which is git add space dot, which which adds which tells the git these are the files which I want to include in my next version. So these all the files will add in the GitHub platform, and for that we'll just check with the git status. So these are the files which is we added right now here, and for the status we checked here the change to be committed, and we use this command git status for the checking these files are going to be add on the GitHub. So for that we have another command which is the first commit. As per the client we have the, as this is the first project milestone, every professional company writes meaningful commit changes instead of writing updated files or this is the final. So as we are the using the CI/CD pipeline, will write a meaningful commit message over here. We describe the business feature and what we are going to push or committing there. Will add as a commit changes with, we need a landing page as a learning platform. So we'll just put command there, git commit with the initial landing page for the learning platform. So we'll just click hit enter. We have the 3 file change created over there, and we'll just click on the another command which is git push origin main. So it's showing some errors like the main does not match, or it's showing the failed push some references of origin. So for that, this is not the code which happens on the real time also. So we'll debug everything on the real time. As a developer, as a software developer, we faces some errors in real time for the managing the CI/CD pipeline for the development. So for that we'll face some errors also, and we'll resolve that. We'll try to resolve this file errors as they are saying the origin is not connected here, and we have root directory which is logged in here. So just we go back to the GitHub platform where we have the commands. Now we have initialized, we added, we changed the commit. We'll skip this. We'll add the command to the main branch. Now it is set to the main branch, and then we'll give a command to the remote origin which we miss here. So we'll just enter the main origin is like git remote added to the origin, which is github.com with the username, and your repository name is CI/CD dashboard. So now we'll check. uh, so that error is I have taken for the references, because the real time we get some errors also for the development and managing the CD pipeline for the development. So that is resolved. This was the small error, but we need to know about what errors happens in the CI/CD pipeline. So this was the results here. Now we again we check with the status. Okay, so on main branch, nothing to commit, working tree clean. So everything is on the commit changes over there. So we'll go back to the last command with the git push new origin. It will take some time, and it's showing that the branch main is set up to track origin main. Now this is everything up to date, and everything goes to the server. This is a very first delivery. The client only asked the public landing page about this, and there we haven't added any authentication. Uh, we just added the landing page and the first commit over here. So we'll go to the GitHub account here and just refresh this repository. And here we have the index.html, script.js, and the style.css. These files is uh, in the GitHub repo. Also for this page, also this was the first. You can see that the initial landing page for the learning platform. This was the first commit which happens in this section, and after that we'll continue with the next versions also. This was the first requirement got from the client, and after that we refresh that and we check with this file. Our source code has reached to this platform with the version 1, and if another developer joins tomorrow, they can download exactly this version from this using the URL which share by author to the team member. As one project can be handled by the multiple developers, so GitHub is the platform which gives you the feature and the facility to manage your project with the multiple developers on remote basis. So because of that thing, we use as a testing server, and it is the base for the testing as a software developer. Now we'll go to the next part. Like if this was the first page we got here, and we just push the first commit. But what happen if we got the second mail from the client and it said, I don't want the landing page. I want some login for this landing page and the dashboard for the authentication to student to manage their registration, their login, and this implementations. So for that we have to add this again comments also. We didn't have rebuilt this project, but we will extend this project. So we'll go back to our file directory, and here we have these files again, and this all the files is pushed on a GitHub, and there is nothing to the commit again. Is everything is on the publish. No, I will just we miss the we miss testing UI. We here go here and we'll just update our deployment server to the main branch. Why? Because you can see there, this is the GitHub page where we built and deployment of a branch in a GitHub platform. So here we can change this branch to the main, and we'll just click to the save. So the GitHub will provide us testing URL from the GitHub page, and it will save the source code, and it will give and it generate the page like view publish page, where we can see our a landing page which shares to the client, and client can see, and he can verify the landing page is working or not. It will take some time for this ID, because the first commit is happen, and we just click on the publish. So it will generate the publish link. Till now we'll just add some files over in our platform, like we have to add some images in the platform. So we'll just click the again another folder, and there we'll add some images. as we required for the landing page. Added the icons and the images in this page, and you can see that Git is showing that EUU is the untracked file which is added here. I just have the notification got from the GitHub, 4 files which is untracked for a, so that will be the second commit from this platform. As a developer, that will show you U, A, and M, U for the untracked, A for the added, and M for the modified file. So till now we got the first commit from our first version, and then we have added these files which is showing untracked. So we'll add here, and we'll go back to the Git the platform, and we'll check whether our URL is generated or not for the testing. And here we have your site is live at this URL. We'll just check this URL whether it is working or not as a testing URL. And it's loading as expected. Whatever we coded till now, for the landing page, everything is on the testing server as a github.io with this repo CI/CD dashboard, and we have the landing page, we have the login model and the register model. But till now we haven't added any functionality, any backend code, any APIs for the logging and for the dashboard. This was the first page, first version of requirement we got from the client, and you can see that there's a logo also missing in the navbar of Axiom TechGuru logo, because we just added the images right now, and which is untracked till now. So while the development phase, this everything which is managed by the commits only. So we'll go back again to the commit changes, and we'll have the new requirement like right now we have added that landing page, but we have to make sure student register also happen. The login functionality should in the working mode, and this commit should be the second version of our development phase. So for that we have to get we have to add these files again, and we have to make the push commands, right? So we'll just add the command again, and we'll check the status, which file is ready to commit. So these are the new files which is available in the assets folder. These files is ready to commit a second commit for this platform, and here we'll add some another files also, like we'll add the dashboard, we'll add the we will create a login. Just we'll go back to the landing page, we'll check whether the login is working or not. If not, so we have to create the second commit also. We'll just use the demo, and it is showing the password must be at least 6 character, means right now we haven't added that API also. So one by one we'll go. The first we'll just add these files, and then we'll have a requirement for this dashboard also. So we'll create another files as a name of dashboard. .html. And so we have to make the login and registration functionality in working mode. So we need a dashboard after the login, so that's why we'll create this, right, as shown here. And for that dashboard, we need CSS and JS as well. So we'll create that dashboard JS file, which manages the everything of the dashboard, and every interactive UI of dashboard will be managed by the JS over here. Now we need again one file, which is the CSS for the UI. So we got the CSS as well. So for the dashboard, we have the JS, HTML, and CSS, and landing page we already added there. And for the login also, we need some file, and which is for the login credentials. So we'll just add some JSON file over here for the credentials only for the login check, as we already checked with this login credential, which is not working yet. So right now we'll make sure to add these files and commit changes to process the further commits as per the requirement while the development phase. Now these are the files we'll check with the dashboard CSS we have. It is the dedicated dashboard design, and then we have the dashboard JS, which is a navigation, logout, profile, the theme notifications, everything will be in this file. And then we'll just again check these four files, not these files, but a git status uh, you gives you the guideline and all the um, overview what's happening in the real development. These four green files is showing that file is added to your commits for your root directory for the GitHub. But this four file which is I created right now, which is untracked files, you can see that this four green files is UU, which is the untracked till now. So we have to enter the another command, which is git add again, for making all the files on the commit changes. So we'll just add here git add dot, right, and then we can check with the status. So here it is, we have the 8 files which is which is are ready to commit in this GitHub repo. So after the add, we'll have commit command, which is like git commit with the implemented student dashboard module. We'll just click on the this command, and then we have created this all the files changes in this GitHub platform. Now we'll just enter the push command, which is working, and here it is the all the files which we added, which committed as the second version, which is completed and successfully committed to the main branch, as you can see that. So we'll go back to the GitHub platform again, and then we'll check with whether the files is available or not there. So here it is. In the prior, we have these files in the 16 minutes ago, but right now in the just now we have these updated files in our repo. And this is the development phase and the testing phase, where we have added the second commit, which is the implemented student dashboard over here. Now we have the commit history here, which is showing that the first commit was the initial landing page, and second was the implemented student dashboard with the history timeline. And 2 commits is happened till now. And this is the history where we can see the commits in the real time, which is first was the completed and second was in process for committing, as that will be reflect to the URL. You can check this URL, which is working in old version only because it is not updated yet. Just we added and committed these things. Now we check with the history, and it is the evolution of this project, like where all the files is added here, and it becomes the git commits. Now after that, we have to make this everything is automated deployment, and that that workflow should be in automatic phase, where all the testing area should be uh, goes the URL basis. We'll check, this link is already available here, and click again for this refresh URL. It is refreshed or not. It will take time for the reflect because we added just a file right now. And here we have the unpublished sites also. We can change the deployment from these using the GitHub Actions also. These are the features which is available in the GitHub platform, and we have the main branch which is already available here. I can click on the unpublished site, so it will delete that publish URL, which is I make the visible prior for the landing page only. But right now I have the updated files of this map platform, where we have added the landing page, we have the login register, then we have the dashboard to view this all every files we have. So until the GitHub only store the code, now GitHub will execute the automation also for that thing, because every file is available in this GitHub, and it will make the changes to the, yeah, as a URL, publish public URL for making the changes of these files. Just click that and we'll wait whether it is. Here is the section where we can add the GitHub action, where we have the configuration, and we can add the custom domain if you want to use the SSH and make the GitHub connected to the your server. Till now we have already connected the server, as so we are working in the testing server also as well, and will just switch this testing server to the production URL also. So till now we have the testing server using the root directory. You can see that there is a demo folders which is available in the production server, but we make that everything in the GitHub only, because switching to production directly, we will test everything on the GitHub platform. So hope everything will be updated soon. Till now we'll check with the workflow. We have to make this everything in the automation also. So we discuss about the YML file, which is the production auto deployment key, and which is the main thing for the CI/CD pipeline, which is like internal developers should not deploy manually anymore. Like for everything is the manual phase. So for making these things, we need GitHub workflow files, which is like deploy.yml file, and that commands need to be executed here. So we'll go to the folder structure again, where we have the folders available, and we'll check with it whether what we have the index page, we have index.html, script.js, style.css, dashboard files, everything, and the images also. We have the users JSON file, but we need a follow file for the deploy YML file, which is used for the auto deployment for the server. For that, which we used as a server host, we need a VPS IP for this. Then we need a server user, Axiom TechGuru recommended for the deployment. and it's better used to Axiom TechGuru user instead of root for deployment. So we use these files. Now we'll create some commands here again for adding the deploy files, which is the main thing which we need for the auto deployment, and which is helps to connect with the SSH server. So we'll have command like this. There is no such directory is available here, so we have to create this directly. Till now we go back, uh, we'll go back to our GitHub repo, where we'll check whether our published file is available or not. It will take time for the published URLs, as it takes times for everything. This is the user.json file where we have the credentials which we added here, which helps to make user login. And it's again saying the unable to load user.json file means everything which we committed till the development, it's till ready, it to ready for the URL. So we'll make it as it is for till it will update. Till now we'll go back to the terminal where we'll create the YML file. First of all, we'll check the branch. Git branch, we have the main branch, and we'll check the status also. So on main branch, your branch is up to date with this origin main, and nothing to commit working tree clean, right? So then we'll create a file which is the YML file. So we have one command, mk directory dir is the directory file, and mkdir is the making the directory for GitHub workflow, which helps to deploy everything on the GitHub platform. We'll just click command like flows. mkdir is the making the directory by this name .github folder with the workflows file. Just click on this, so you can see that the directory and folder is created using this command. Now we'll verify the list which is present or not. Whatever is generated in the file manager, we'll check with the terminal also. This folder and this file is available, and then we'll create a deploy.yaml file which we need for everything. For that, we have a script which we are using the deploy CI/CD dashboard here. We just enter this thing, and I'll just make the terminal open for you. to see everything. You can see these commands, which is as a name of deploy CI/CD dashboard on push branch on the main, where its files job is to deploy, run on Ubuntu latest server. The steps we have: check out the repository, check every actions, and deploy to VPS. With these commands, we have to enter the server host name, username, key, port, everything. So we just added here. Now we'll just click to enter, and then we'll exit this files. Means we have created this file using terminal. You can see the file is visible in the folder structure. I will go back to the terminal. Whatever we are doing this, we are using the terminal for that, as Git is the platform, or Git is the command list what we have available here. So we have the GitHub folder, GitHub flows, and the YML file as well. Now, again, whatever we have added in the terminal, which is not committed yet to the GitHub platform. So for that, we have to make this is visible again, as this is not committed here. So every action, every version of your development is need to be committed on your GitHub platform as a testing server. So we'll just make git add, the file is added again, and we'll check the status. This file is ready to commit in the server of a GitHub server. So we'll add the command with this messages. We are adding the GitHub action deployment workflow files. We'll hit the click button, enter button, and one file change with the 25 interactions created using this ID for this file. Now the last, which is mandatory to pushing every files on the origin main branch. Now GitHub doesn't automatically know how to deploy our project. By convention, it looks for the workflow file inside the specific directory. You can see that, and this files is showing as a .github slash workflows. In that workflow, we have the YML file. This file directory doesn't exist. GitHub action has nothing to execute. For that, we have created, and this file is the instruction manual, like as we already discussed. This is the manual for the GitHub action. Every time someone pushes code to the main, till now whatever the versions of the commit we did manually, but by using this file, yeah, it helps to GitHub to read these files and start temporary runner, and it will check out the latest code connected to securely. And by using this file, the server of SSH, which is we created, it will runs the deployment commands automatically, and that's what transferred a simple git push into automated deployment files we have created. So it everything which is we added till now, which is a secret hooks, which helps to say add a CI/CD pipeline for the making everything on the live. So we'll just summarize everything what we till now. We have added the landing page. We check with the landing page. We check with the user credential login. We added the files that changed everything until now on the GitHub to store the codes. So after that, we'll go back again to GitHub for checking whether every files is available or not. The GitHub repo, will refresh this repo, and here it is. Every committed we have changes, that all the things in the testing server we have with the timeline also. Again, we go back to page and we'll check. So this files is added in the pipeline or testing server. Now we'll switch everything to the production server as we have verified the deployment using the GitHub action and GitHub account of GitHub repo. Every files which we added here is available. Now our latest code has already reached the server. You can see because we'll switch to VS Code, and here we have the root directory and the servers. By using GitHub, we tested and we added every files as a backup on the testing server. Now we'll switch to the production and we'll check our domain URL which is connected through GitHub to the server, which is working or not. And we have the URL. Just enter here a domain with the CI/CD dashboard, and we'll just click hit button whether it is working or not. We'll check it, and here it is. The most satisfying part, the change we made in the VS Code has traveled through the complete pipeline using VS Code, Git status, GitHub, Git add commit, and all the push repositories is available on the server by using SSH. As we connected the Linux SSH through GitHub and the VS Code. So right now we have the production website, production URL is available, and it is available on the globally. And this is the landing page we tested prior in the uh, GitHub platform. We'll just make you give the overview of this everything what is available here. We have the landing page with this navbar, login and registered model with the credential which we saved in the JSON file. We have the hero section where master future technologies with the industry experts. Some explore courses is available, book demo, all the things, everything you need to go from learner to hire, live track, live training, industry mentor, certification, placement assistant. This is the landing page which we got the requirement from the client. The programs designed around today's hiring bar, full stack development, Java program, the tech stack, the courses values. Then we have the training that behaves like a real engineering job for experienced trainers, hands-on projects, placement support, mock interviews, career guidance, and the industry certifications. These are all the things we have. Then we have the four steps from first line of code to offer letters like learn, practice, build projects, and get place. Then have the section like success stories of careers or alumni actual build with their names, their feedbacks on this platform. Then we have the hiring teams who trust our graduates. This is the associates which is we have in this landing page with the counter of values trained course delivers, and one is section is FAQ which where we can question the answer of your every queries, and here's the ask question button is also available. And then we got in the block section we have the blocks using these cards, and at the last we have the contact section where let's plan your learning, you can contact us with the footer. Now we'll just have gone through the landing page which we created, we added through all the CI/CD pipeline. We'll check this whether the login is working or not. Here I have my username and the password, and just after hitting the login click, I'm successfully logging with the dashboard where we have the Axiom TechGuru dashboard. It's saying welcome back Sahil. This is my username is showing here, my profile setting as logout. As we added this all the files through the CI/CD pipeline using the GitHub, every commits, every versions of requirement of client we added as a development testing server, and then it switched to production. We have all the features of menus my courses, lab classes, assignments, practice lab, projects, internship, certificate, schedule, everything. My profile sections also. As a user and as a CI/CD pipeline demo, we have created this platform for giving you know how we can actually work this. So as the client requested, we added this. We have developed these things, and I'll just give overview how we gone through every steps. We use the Git. We Git tracked every changes we made here. GitHub becomes a single source of truth where we have the codes present. Then GitHub Action automate the deployment as we added these GitHub files and workflow files, which helps us to make the production live basically. And then our Linux server received the latest code from this by using this file, and a production website was updated without manually uploading a single file. It is gone through the GitHub directly, and this is why the CI/CD is so powerful, and it transforms a business requirement into a production-ready feature through the repeatable, reliable, and automated process. As we check with and we gone through everything, first we go through the requirement as per the clients, and everything whatever we committed on the GitHub, it directly recorded through the GitHub Action, GitHub history. Every meaningful Git commit represent a business milestones, and every Git push becomes the trigger that carries that milestone all the way production, which we have right now. And with that, I'll just log out this section and go back to the landing page. And with that, I would now like to invite our director sir to share his valuable guidance and insight on today's topic. Over to you, sir.
Hey, thanks, Team Axiom. You did a fabulous job to give us all the glimpses and technical know-how about the CI/CD pipeline. Specifically, Sahil, Harshal, Himanshu, they did a fabulous job to contribute to make this event happening. And everyone, this is awesome because basically together everyone have to upskill themselves to modern tech stacks industry required so that we can serve the industry better and upskill ourselves as per the requirement. Hope you guys enjoy this session. To have such more sessions technically, if you want to contribute to join us, comment us, share these all the events on your network so that uh, you will be able to enhance your profile as per the industry standards. Thank you. Have a good one.
In Axiom TechGuru, we transform ideas into scalable digital solutions with AI, innovation, and technology that drives